What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE Raw sent into chaos, the real reason Logan Paul joined the Vision, did Logan Paul accidentally get hurt during Raw, the 2026 Royal Rumble in trouble, Rusev involved in an incident with a fan, there were plans for John Cena to become an 18-time champion, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, CM Punk opens up the show. A new world champion CM Punk opened up the show, and he ran through a list of names that he wanted to face as world champion. But a quick fun fact is that CM Punk hadn't appeared as champion on Raw since Raw's January 21st, 2013 episode. We are definitely living in a crazy timeline. But Punk stated names such as Sheamus and John Cena, and this is when he was interrupted by a returning Logan Paul. The Vision would then make their presence felt, and in a surprise twist, Logan would attempt to make this save for Punk, but naturally, he was laid out. Fans seemed to be in shock as Logan Paul just presumably turned babyface. This was an effective opening segment that set the tone for the rest of the show. Number 2, Mysterio vs. Mysterio. Now it appears that WWE are moving forward with another installment in the Dominic Mysterio vs. Rey Mysterio saga. Rey returned to television on the show last night, and as always, the chemistry between the two was on point. This included that line when Rey Mysterio asked Dominic if he really thinks he's better than Eddie Guerrero, which Dominic replied, "You keep my father's name out of your mouth." The reaction to that line was incredible. Dom just knows how to play the audience just like that. Now it's now being speculated that the two could meet for the IC Championship at Survivor Series War Games, but this would therefore mean that Cena is going to compete inside War Games. Number 3, Logan joins the Vision. Logan Paul is now an official member of the Vision, well, at least for Survivor Series War Games. The main event angle saw Logan once again make the save for CM Punk, but this time he laid out Punk with brass knuckles to the skull. Logan would then embrace Paul Heyman in a fantastic angle to close out the show. It now appears that the Team Vision vs Team Punk storyline is back on for War Games. And names rumored for the Team Vision include Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar, and Austin Theory. In relation to Team Punk, based on television, we can expect names such as Punk, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, and potentially LA Knight. But that was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, has LA Knight been punished? There are rumors online today that LA Knight could have been punished by WWE. Last week on the show, LA Knight held up a sign that stated that fans wanted him rather than Jey Uso, and with the WWE production team quickly placing his name card over the sign, it was then theorized that this was an unscripted moment. Weirdly, LA didn't appear on Raw in any capacity, and even weirder, he wasn't even mentioned in the list of names that Punk called out for a world title match. LA wasn't featured, which is unusual, especially as the two have an ongoing storyline for the past 2 months. Now hopefully there's a clear explanation as to why this occurred, and hopefully LA is back on television next week. And number 2, where is AJ Lee? Now another week, another episode of Raw without AJ Lee. AJ reportedly signed a full-time contract, yet she's been completely absent from television since Wrestlepalooza. No explanation has been offered as to where she is, and it's almost as if the return was just for that PLE. WWE definitely had major plans for her, or else they wouldn't have had her tap out to Becky Lynch at Wrestlepalooza. And also, Lynch has sort of been on autopilot since Wrestlepalooza, and it's almost as if WWE had been forced to pivot with her booking due to the absence of AJ Lee. Now, there was nothing downright ugly on this show. Once again, the Red brand is far superior to the SmackDown brand, and the show last night did a fantastic job in advancing the major storyline heading into Survivor Series War Games. It's appreciated that virtually every match and segment on Raw has a purpose, and it's not just placed on the show to fill time. So many names on the Red brand are over with the audience, and 90% of the matches on the show deliver exactly what the modern day WWE fan wants out of the product. What did you guys think of the Red brand last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first story looks at Raw sent into chaos. Our first story today takes a look at last night's Raw, and now it's been reported that the opening segment went significantly over. It doesn't sound too bad, but according to Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer Radio, the opening segment went 10 minutes over, and this actually led to WWE scrambling throughout the show. Now it's unclear how this occurred, as nothing within the opening segment seemed out of place or unscripted. Triple H was back running the show last night, and he is accustomed to running a show in which a segment or two runs over its allocated time. So to hear that the show was sent into chaos is kinda crazy. Next up, Cody Rhodes retiring. Now, next story looks at the new interview with WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, as the American Nightmare has confirmed that his next contract will be his final WWE contract. Rhodes appeared on the All the Smoke podcast this week, and this was when Rhodes revealed his long-term plans with WWE. I like to make it by the time they hit that age that I'm not gone that often, or I can't really walk around that much, and we're getting closer. What I'd say is probably my last contract with WWE, or the next contract I sign will probably be my last, and finish my days with WWE. Now, it's unknown how long Rhodes' current contract is for, but it's possible that his final contract sees Rhodes work a part-time schedule, especially with his various commitments outside of WWE growing with each passing year. Whilst this will no doubt be a huge blow for WWE, as Rhodes is basically the face of their entire brand, it's likely that Rhodes will stick around. It's been theorized that Triple H is positioning Rhodes to have an upper management position in the company, and with Rhodes having experience of this role in AEW, it's not far-fetched to say that Rhodes will be one of the key names running the company in the next decade. Another key name that is in the running for this is Seth Rollins, and it was even reported that Rollins and Rhodes collectively ran a house show together a number of months ago, and it was said to go down without a hitch. Next up, the real reason why Logan Paul joined the Vision. A Raw went off the air with a shocking twist, as Logan Paul seemingly joined the Vision stable led by Paul Heyman. Now, it appears that the real reason that this occurred was simply to build war games, and it's unlikely that Logan is a full-time member of the faction. Logan isn't a full-time name, so it's possible that he'll be an associate of sorts to the faction, similar to the role that Bronson Reed played with the New Bloodline last year. Logan is a logical fit for war games and is expected to perform the dangerous spot in the matchup. Additionally, Logan already has pre-established issues with Punk and Jey Uso, and if LA Knight and Roman Reigns join Team Punk, then the inclusion makes even more sense, as Logan has had featured PLE matches against both of these names. Finally, Logan vs CM Punk is inevitable, and all signs point towards it taking place at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. This will be a significant match to have on the card, and Logan's inclusion in war games could be the preliminary setup for this big match. Next up, did Logan Paul get hurt last night? During the opening segment on Raw, Logan Paul was pushed hard by Bron Breakker, and when Logan fell, he appeared to hit his head off the LED board of the ring. Now, this landing looked pretty brutal, and there was immediate concern that Logan may have been hurt, but thankfully it looks like WWE's Maverick is perfectly okay. Logan was involved in the main event segment, and he was even involved in physicality, and if he had suffered any kind of head injury, then he would have been pulled from the segment, or at least any physicality would have been taken out of the segment itself. Next up, the 2026 Royal Rumble is in trouble. The 2026 Royal Rumble will be held in Saudi Arabia for the first time ever, and there's concern when it comes to major surprises for the show. Now, according to Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer Radio, due to the Rumble being in Saudi Arabia, WWE won't be able to hide any surprise entrants. The Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia, and normally they do surprises for the Rumble. I was given the impression that what they're working with right now is the idea that there probably won't be any Royal Rumble surprises because they're going to Saudi. It's going to be extremely difficult to hide people on flights, etc. Now, Alvarez continued by saying that due to Saturday night's main event occurring the week prior, it's likely that any surprises feature on this show ahead of the Rumble. So they're doing the Saturday night's main event and the SmackDown the week prior in Montreal. The idea is that if there's a good chance there are any Rumble surprises, they will debut on those shows as surprises, and then we'll know going into the Royal Rumble. Saturday night's main event will be on January 24th. Now, the thing is with the Royal Rumble, one of the most exciting parts of it is the surprise entrance, and WWE telling fans ahead of time the surprise names would be the most underwhelming decision possible. Now, it's worth noting that WWE have delivered surprise returns and cameos in Saudi before, so there must be a way to keep wrestlers hidden from the media and the fan base. To be fair, the only way that they can ruin this any further is giving Jey Uso back-to-back wins. Next up, did Triple H bury AEW? Triple H recently appeared on the All In Summit, and during the appearance, the game made a comment about WWE's creative process, and it's been widely interpreted as a direct shot at AEW. We tell stories, unless, and people within our business sometimes take this wrong, but I don't. We don't write the shows based on, that'll be a great match. We write it on the stories that we can create. The protagonist, the antagonist, how does that work with each other? Telling stories that can resonate with people, that maybe they've experienced in their real life, some type of fantastical version of that. Now, AEW is often criticized for focusing on in-ring action rather than storytelling, so it's easy to see where Triple H is coming from. Now, with that being said, after the less than stellar year the company has had from a creative aspect, maybe this isn't the correct time to take shots at AEW. Next up, Rusev involved in an incident with a fan. Now, back in May, as Rusev was making his way to the ring, he knocked a fan's phone out of their hand. This story quickly disappeared from the public realm. However, Rusev has been asked directly about the incident during an interview with Shaq Wrestling. According to the former WWE US champion, he's refusing to pay for the phone and fans should keep their hands to themselves. I saw that I knocked somebody's phone down, but it wasn't broken, so if they're trying to pay me for that, that's not gonna happen. I saw the phone was working, there was continuing footage, so I'm not paying for that phone. Keep your hands to yourself, people. There's a barricade for a reason, man. Stay on this side of it. And I'm a large man. My shoulders are pretty broad. Sometimes I feel it. I have the energy and I go wild. I'll run there, so keep your hands to yourself. This is unfortunately another instance of a WWE wrestler urging fans to respect personal boundaries. And finally, plans for John Cena to become an 18-time champion? Our final story today takes a look at John Cena and the subsequent pivot that WWE could have made. Following Seth Rollins' shoulder injury at Crown Jewel 2024 and the subsequent stripping of his World Heavyweight Championship, WWE explored several backup plans, and one of the backup plans that was discussed was John Cena and his potential involvement in the title picture. According to Sean Rossap via Fightful Select, WWE held major conversations about Cena possibly winning the vacant World Heavyweight title, though how far those talks went remains unclear. If John Cena had won the world title, this would have marked his 18th World Championship in WWE, a milestone that probably only Randy Orton could defeat at this point. While it isn't a world title, there are still plans for John Cena to face Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio, thereby turning Cena into a Grand Slam champion. Would you have wanted Cena to become an 18-time champion? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.